What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. If you guys remember a few months ago, Angel Reese was on a podcast. And on the podcast, Angel Reese was talking to, I believe, another WNBA player. And she was sharing her frustrations about her status in the league and also WNBA players. I believe she makes something like $71,000 a year, so it's not a whole lot of money, but definitely you can tell that she was unhappy with the lack of opportunity that she was getting. And she said this.
I need to get in the meetings. You need to come to the meetings. I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, we sit out.
That's a possibility, for real.
Yeah.
Now the WNBA All-Star game, which happened a few days ago, and so a lot of players came out with t-shirts that had to say the WNBA All-Star game. The WNBA All-Star game, you saw women wearing certain shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." And this is interesting because in solidarity, Caitlin Clark wore this particular shirt. Now, Caitlin Clark has to be richer than everybody in the league, even Angel Reese, even though she's not as known, but the brand deals. She stood in solidarity with the other players, okay? And Angel Reese also wore this situation, right? She wore this shirt. So the WNBA players are demanding that they get paid a higher percentage in the league. But I want to give a shout out to the brother D-Rich TV1 on TikTok because he explained it like this.
So during WNBA All-Star Weekend, WNBA players wore a shirt that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Pay us what you owe us. I'm going to be respectful today. Obviously, they want a bigger share of the revenue that they bring in to the WNBA because right now they only get 25% of the league's revenue when the NBA players get 50% of the league's revenue. Even though the NBA makes about $10 billion a year and the WNBA grosses about $200 million, but they also lose $40 to $50 million a year. So from an ownership standpoint, if you own a WNBA team, you've been putting into this league since 1996 and you have never turned a profit. When the league reaches the point that it's at now, why would you increase the revenue share if you're an owner? You want to make the money that you've been investing for years. And that's just a simple business standpoint. And like I've said before numerous of times, it's not a man's job to make sure that a women's sport makes the money that they feel like they should make. We already support the NFL. We already support the NBA. We already support whatever sport we like to support. It's on the females to get out here and make going to WNBA games a moment. It's on the females to buy WNBA jerseys.
So basically, the WNBA, as you can hear, has been losing money for a long time, okay? And it's a lot of investment going into the league. Now, currently, I believe some sources say players receive 9.3% of the league revenue, but NBA players receive 49 to 51% of basketball-related income. NHL players receive 50% of hockey-related income. And so what's going on is that the demand for the WNBA is not there because it's been losing money. And the brother is correct when he says one thing: why don't women support the WNBA? Why don't they want to support it? Because women can support everything else. I mean, you look at Angel Reese's podcast, they support that. I mean, they support everything that has to do with what they want. And so the WNBA players are saying, pay us what you owe us. But a lot of the WNBA financing comes from, I think, the NBA. So you're going to have, I'm pretty sure, certain pockets of people asking for men to support women get more money. But this is not DEI, okay? This is real life. And in real life, you get paid what you can earn. And this is not to say that WNBA players don't try hard. This is not to say that WNBA players are not skilled. This isn't to say that they're not professional, all right? But it is to say that the demand is not there. So what do you do when the demand is not there? You have to figure out why the demand is not there. Instead of demanding that people say, look, well, pay us what you owe us. Well, you're in debt, okay? You're in debt. I mean, you're already getting a substantial support from the NBA. which is the money the men are making. And again, for all the people out there that say that men are not important, well, there is no WNBA without men, all right? Without the men bringing in the money to fund the women's league, right? For all the people talking about how independent people are and how independent women's sports is and all of that. If the NBA just decided to say, we're not going to support the WNBA, I would say that so many people would be crying. Oh my God, why don't you want to support us? Why it's not fair? What about the women? Then you have merchandise deals. This is the opportunity, like the brother said, for women to buy jerseys. They can make Angel Reese the highest paid hottest jersey selling thing in the league. They don't. You know what? Want to know why? Because women want to buy men's jerseys if they want to do that, or go to men's games. Okay? Women want to go to the NBA All-Star game because why? They can find a baller there. Women don't want to go to the WNBA All-Star game because they're not gonna find. They don't probably feel like they don't find any ballers there. Women want to be where the men are at. I don't care what they say. They can say whatever they want to say. They want to be where men are at, especially men that have money. And hey, the WNBA can figure that out. What about the broadcasting rights? The WNBA has every right to negotiate with TV networks and streaming platforms. The problem is that if you don't have viewership, nobody wants to sponsor. Look at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl costs an enormous amount of money. Super Bowl ads are very costly, 30 second, 60 second. Advertisers are willing to spend whatever to get in front of that audience. And that audience is demanded, right? The WNBA got the same ability. But if nobody wants to get in front of your audience, then nobody wants to get in front of your audience. What about the sponsorships? You have so many women sponsoring and partnershiping with the WNBA. But what's the problem? Nobody wants to sponsor something they feel like they can't get anything back from. That's the reality. If I can't get my money back from what I'm sponsoring, I'm wasting my time, okay? And you're saying pay what you owe us, but you're not bringing in the thing. It's almost like having an employee. I had one time I was working with a lady. She was a social media manager for my other platforms. It was managed terribly, okay? And of course, she happened to be a lady. And she said, hey, I want to make a certain amount of money, is like $1,000 a month. The platforms that she managed had 700 followers, but she wanted to have that amount of money every month as a personal goal, because that's kind of amount of money she wanted. But she didn't have any ideas to boost social media engagement. She didn't know what she was doing. And for her, because she was hired earlier, she wanted to do that, but it had nothing to do with that. Like, she just wasn't good, okay? She wasn't good. That's the problem. When you're not good, it doesn't matter. So you got to get paid what the market is saying. You got to work on the marketing of the WNBA. You can't force people to buy something that they feel it's not worth it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy OCD Jackson back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all you do. Grab the bell. We're out.